Si os parece, empezamos. Vamos a empezar con la ponencia de estrategias de éxito en la internacionalización. Tenemos la alegría de contar con nosotros a Juan Carlos Barragán, empresario granadino de Tostaderos Sol de Alba, segunda generación de una empresa familiar, sin embargo, emprendedora e innovadora. ¿De acuerdo? Él nos va a contar su experiencia de alguien como cualquier otro emprendedor granadino que se enfrenta ante el reto de la internacionalización y que en este sentido lo cumple, ¿no? Que es mucho decir. Pues os dejo con él, ¿de acuerdo?
Okay. Now? Okay. I said, welcome, I'll repeat. Thank you for coming and bearing my speech in English. It's a bit strange to speak in English to your countrymen and in your hometown where you live. But I'll try to do my best, although it's my first time I speak to public in English. I'll do my best to get understood. The organization of this event asked me to come here to tell my experience and point of view in relation to the internationalization of the companies, and I couldn't refuse the invitation. I'm a great believer, I'm a great defender of the benefits of going out looking for new opportunities, and the market is huge. In Granada, Spain and Europe, there are plenty of companies, small companies, we are a small company, you'll see later, that have a good product, a good service, something good to offer to the world, but they think that they can't. I'm from a small city, I don't have the means, and you can. I did, I'm a normal person, I'm not so tall, I'm normal people, and I'm a worker. I have illusion, I have a dream, and that's what I did. I'm going to tell you now. Okay. Let me introduce myself. My name is Juan Carlos Barragán, I told you before. I belong to a second generation of a family-owned business company. It was founded by my dad in 1969. A good number, good year. And he decided to move from Madrid. I was born in Madrid, but my parents are from Granada. He decided to move back to Granada, and he did a small market research looking for some opportunity. And he discovered that in the candy business, the offer was very, very reduced. So he decided to leave his company. He used to work for Henkel, an international group, selling washing machines, but he didn't want to continue like that. He wanted to move back, and he wanted his sons make the roots in their hometown. And that's how he started with a small company. Probably you know Conguitos. At that moment, Conguitos was almost nothing. It was just being born. And he got the distribution for Granada with Conguitos, and then some jelly, and then some chewing gum, because the industry was almost in Spain those days. One of the brands we started to distribute was sunflower seeds, pipas, a brand from Valencia. One day, we were forced to become manufacturers because that company bankrupt. From one day to the other, we had to place orders every week. My dad called to place the order, and they said, "We are so sorry, but we have no stock, we have no money, we have no goods, and we can't continue delivering to you." How come? We have the market. At the moment, we had almost 100% market share in Granada, Jaén, in Malaga, but for us it was really important. It was our main base in the business. So my father took a car, drove to Valencia on the same day, tried to get 2 packing machines. They borrowed us 2 packing machines, and we didn't know about producing. Just a little bit, some quantity of packing film, packaging, but no sunflower seeds. Just some telephone numbers of some roasters where we could call, place an order, and buy in bulk. We bought in bulk, packed. But what happened? Every week the price was increased in 2 pesetas per kilo. Almost nothing today. The quality wasn't the best. If some stock was burned or the roasting wasn't proper, it was delivered to us. So one day we decided to buy our first oven and start learning how to roast, how to produce, how to buy the raw material, and it was a learning process that we had to face up from one day to the other. Well, we continue. Finally, at the beginning, at that moment, we started with we continue with the same brand, but then we realized that we couldn't continue with other brand. That brand belonged to a company, a bankrupt company, who owed money to almost everybody, to employees, to suppliers, and maybe one day some of them could come to us saying, "You are getting money through my brand, so you have to pay the bill in terms of a penalty, in terms of whatever." So it didn't make any sense to continue doing business with some other brand. At the moment was when Sol de Alba was born as a company name in 1978. Then we started selling to a customer in Ceuta. And we have a former importer there, a former distributor there, but he wanted to move the brand. Some competitor of ours said, "Listen, I want to bring my brand here, and if you don't buy from me, I will kill your business. I will open a branch here, so if I were you, I will leave Sol de Alba, I will take mine." And the guy got frightened and did it. He didn't tell us nothing. Just from today till tomorrow started complaining about quality, about price, about weight, about everything. Before it was wonderful, everything. And then only complained. The reason was clear. He changed the brand. He left our goods to get in bad conditions to deliver to the market so that consumer will refuse our brand and will accept his brand. So at that moment, a new guy came. We could do nothing. Our brand was killed. So a new guy came to Granada and said, "Listen, I've been in Malaga. I saw your goods. I like very much, and I think I can do a good business in Ceuta with your goods, with your sunflower seeds." I said, "Okay, come on. We need somebody like you. We've been punished by a guy. So all we need is a good distributor there." At that moment, we have changed the design. We have changed the color, the material, even the packaging. And it was it exploded because the color was blue, and blue color is the favorite of Moroccan people, especially from the Rif. The quality was wonderful, the material was very special, very shining, so it exploded. And we started selling through Morocco, through Ceuta into Morocco. That's why it's written indirect, directly to Morocco. The second international experience was in passive sale experience also. A guy from Holland went on holidays to Morocco, saw our product there, he tried, liked, and contacted us and said, listen, I'm in the same business as you, but in the Netherlands. And there are plenty of people from Morocco, from Algeria, from Tunisia, from many countries, and we are dealing in the ethnic market. We are supplying those shops. And since they love your product, because I see they buy huge quantities to bring back home when they return from holidays, I think that's an opportunity. We can deliver that. Okay? We are open, we are here to sell, and we started selling, and it was a great success. Even today, nowadays, it's a good importer, a good dealer, and we are extending the portfolio, the range, and we continue doing business there. Then we decided that if we were selling pretty well from Ceuta and Melilla, at the time we had also looked for a distributor in Melilla, a real importer inside Morocco to reach all the country. And that's how we, with a great guy in Morocco. He was based in Tangier, but with Blanca and Rabat and Mekines and Marrakesh, almost covering the whole country. But something happened in 2000. My father was the founder, as I mentioned before, but he offered 50% of the company to my uncle, to one of his brothers. He joined the company in 1972, and they've been together for a long time. He was managing the production company, Sol de Alba, my father, myself, and then my brother, we were managing Barragán. I was the link, I was in the middle, connecting the distribution with the production, only for domestic market. I had nothing to do with international. I just suggested new ideas. Why don't we go there? Why don't we visit the guy from Holland? If there's an opportunity there, the world is huge. One country, there are 168. But finally, they decided to continue with that. In 2000, my uncle left the company. At that moment, we had to start again and take the control of the production company. And first thing I did, I became the sales manager for the group. And first thing I did was to establish our first international department. That was a guy from the States and me, a great team. 2 guys going everywhere and doing plenty things. In 2000, the export department was everything. The back office, sales team. We attended almost every food fair in the world in a blindly way. Yes, we received some information. There is a fair in Italy, Cibus, Oh, it might be interesting. Let's go to Chibus. There's a new fair in Moscow, Prodexpo. Okay, let's go to Moscow. There's a new fair in Germany. Let's go there. To give you an idea, in a month's time, I took almost 14 planes. I changed the clothes in home, and Ken stayed for 1 day, couple of days, left again. Finally, it was in the way. But that's something we had to live, to experience, to realize that nobody is coming to tell you the way you have to do things. You have to suffer and explore by yourself. Hopefully, there are some guys like me today. I'm giving you my advice. I'm giving you what I consider are the main keys to do things properly. But you have to suffer, and that's something you have to live yourself. Nobody's going to do it for you. And then in 2007, we did a strategic plan. Before that time, of course, we had a strategic plan, but it wasn't written, something we had in mind. We have to go to Africa because it's great. We have to buy a new machine because the old one is very old, the production. There's always a path where you go, but there's no clear strategic plan. 2007, we did it with the support and the help of with a consultant company. It was really, really important, and it was the key for the future in our company. We questioned every single department in the company, from accountancy, from financial, production, sales, purchases, and from the main board, who's who in the company. Because especially in the family business, everybody do everything, and everybody knows who's who, who's the leader. But it's a non-written leader. Everybody tries to do the best, but it's something that goes up, rise, and then stands the same way, and then goes down. And there's a moment that you need to clarify who's who, who's the head, who's the main target of the company. What's your mission? What you gonna do? What you gonna be when you grow up? Right. So we did it from 2007. I'm the general manager of the company, but I am also the export manager. Our structure it's quite clear and small. There's a production manager, purchase manager, who is my brother. He's also general manager when I'm out of the company. There's a financial and accountancy manager. Everything is very clear, very professional. And on Sunday, when we go to grandmom's house to have the rice with my brothers, with all the family, we are brothers, we are family. We try not to talk about business. And there's no stars. Everybody is same level. But on Monday, when I take my seat, I'm general manager. The other one is the purchase manager, my brother, my brother-in-law, who is a sales manager for domestic market. We are professional. In 2009, we saw that it was an idea running around my head. Nobody thought in the company that we could sell chuches, candies through the internet. There are plenty kiosk shops where you can find. I pushed, I convinced, I encouraged my team. We made a lot of mistakes. We did the first website was a disaster. We learned the lesson. Then we had a new website. And finally, I can tell you, now it's still a small percentage of the total turnover of the company, Barragán Espinar, but it's growing and growing and growing, 2 digits every month. So it means that there are opportunities, there are new ideas, technology is something we can reach, and we should never say, no, I do things like I've been doing it everything all the time for 2000, for 50 years. No, we have to be open-minded and take advantage of the opportunities. And last important fact was in 2012 we opened a branch in Mexico to become Mexican and to offer the Mexican something like corn. Can you imagine going to Mexico to sell corn to the Mexican guys? That's the country of the corn. Christopher Columbus brought the corn to Europe. And now I'm going with my bag, with my samples, trying to sell corn to the Mexicans. Yeah, maybe I'm crazy. What I'm doing. Can tell you today, we are started the distribution as a trial in 550 shops of the main chain 7-Eleven. Probably you know 7-Eleven company, and only in the northern part of Mexico. We designed a very nice display to be placed in the counter. We designed the coloring, the packaging, and the flavoring to fit the Mexican taste. Later, you have the chance to taste our corn, but with the recipe. I don't want you to burn. Okay, till now, story, I'm gonna go a bit faster. I don't wanna bore you. It doesn't work. It does. As a result, as all I told you, so I mentioned all these 12, almost 13 years of working really hard. Here's the result. Nowadays, we are present in 32 countries, and there are much to do still. 32, it's a good number, but the world is composed of about 178 countries. And even in every of those numbers and names written there, there's much to do. We have to develop. There's an opportunity to grow up and grow, grow, and grow. You can say that we are selling in Australia. Can you imagine? It's so far away from here. Australia, Argentina, Austria, Czech Republic, Denmark, Poland. In terms of volume, I could say Morocco, Algeria, Turkey, Venezuela. We are suffering now what happened in Venezuela. And that's something very important. When you are present in many countries and you are watching news on TV, you're not just a guy watching news. You hear news, something happened in Venezuela. Oh my God. The devaluation of the Bolivar, what may happen with the price now? Are they will continue buying? All the political and every single accident happening in a country makes you nervous because you have interest there. And what does the Mediterranean Basin offer us? Well, the Mediterranean Basin and I want to take advantage to say hello to our neighbors and our partners that they are watching me now. There are many opportunities, especially with the European Union countries. That's common. There are no barriers, no physical, no customs. You can deliver and ship the goods everywhere. No duty, nothing. Technical, legal barriers and requisites are quite simple. It's just a matter of text, ingredients. You have to stamp the ingredients in every language. And that's tax harmonization. We have a common currency. That's really a very good thing. Whenever I travel abroad, I don't have to go to an exchange office to change money. And then you have always some money left. Especially when you think in a price, if you are using the same currency, the levels are very established, are very permanent. Similar countries, we are not so different from Italians, from Greeks, from French. We're not so different. We're Mediterranean. We like the sun. We like enjoying. We like living. And also proximity. We are very close. But also in the Mediterranean basin, there are non-European countries. On the other side of the Mediterranean Sea, we can find emerging economies. We can find large growth potential. All those countries are growing. Now they are looking at us saying, "Oh, poor Spanish guys, poor Europeans, what's happening?" I go there every time I go to Morocco. Every country I go, I spend my time saying what happened. They ask me, "Hey, what happened in Spain? If you are so good, what about your economy? What's happening?" It's real. We see on TV. And also, although they speak a different language and they have a different culture, we're not so different from people, from Moroccans, from Algerians. We're not so different. And also proximity. So there's a good opportunity to take our goods, our experience, our services, because they need it. They need it. And there's an opportunity. What can you tell about this? It's the same export, internationalization, same thing? What do you think? Maybe there's a big difference. Let's see the difference. Export means sell our products and or services in other countries. Basically, it's that. It doesn't require presence in the local market. You have your company, your factory, you load the container or truck, deliver, get your money, important thing, and that's all. Within the European Union, it's not considered export. Legally, in fiscal terms, I would say, no, I say, you need the same preparation in your company, you need the same organization, the same idea. If you are selling just in England, or if you are selling to India. Legal questions doesn't matter to get ready inside your company. And now let's say what's internationalization. Cultural process to develop capabilities for doing business in different countries and markets. There's no a model. Each company must look for its own model of internationalization according to their idiosyncrasy. And there's no a manual by Acme say how to become an international company. But basically, there are some important things. You have to think like local. You may be international by hiring foreign people working in your company. Foreign people gives new ideas, fresh air, different point of views. For that reason, I hired a guy from America when we opened our department. Sorry. You may become international by purchasing abroad, by producing abroad, by opening branches, by thinking global, and by developing your brand outside. That's not, nobody said that you need to open a branch in every country, that you need to produce in every country. You have to think global. And now I'm going to tell you what I consider it's the important part of my speech. What are the keys to success when you decide you're going to go abroad? Well, first thing is the determination. Determination means that the CEO or head of the company must love the idea and be sure that it's the best way to success. You don't have to wait that anybody from a company, from the bottom of the company, is coming to tell you, why don't we go abroad? Why don't we sell our product in Italy? It's you. It must be your project, your idea. You have to convince your team. But if the head of the company is not determined, you won't succeed, for sure. Then you need the total company commitment. Everybody must love your idea and take the idea as a group idea, because you have to encourage them, telling about all of the members of the company, not just for you. Because if the company is selling abroad, you won't have to fire out people. You will grow, you will invest, and that's richness for everybody. It's very common that when a sales manager from every country comes with a new order, he's jumping so happy, say, hey, I got the order. Now I could convince the guy from France, and here it is, the order. Then he goes to the production manager and says, listen, this order must be very specific. Normally we do the olive oil, for instance, in a cardboard display with 12 bottles. I need one of 4. Why? We are doing 12. Why don't you sell 12? No, but my customer needs 4 and something more. We are selling 1 liter bottle and he needs 750. No way. I have to change all the supplies. I have to change the shifts. I have to explain everybody that now, what I mean is that you have to face problems with everybody if they are not determined to go to the internationalization. Are we ready? Because one thing is that I love the idea, I want to go, I convince everybody, I encourage my team, but are we ready? Are we crazy? And are we ready in terms of product or service? Do I have the capability to adapt my product or my service to the country or the market when I'm gonna go. My staff is qualified. Do they speak languages? Do they like the idea? Are they determined to learn technology? Do I have the technology? How well is my machinery? My production machines, how are they? Do I have any advantage? Something that it's different from my competitors abroad that allows me to enter into the market. And finally, capacity, because probably gonna sell out, and now I am very close to my limit. I am at 80% of my capability, and we're gonna go. So we have to study carefully and very honestly with us if we are ready in terms of product, staff, technology, capability. And then money, 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 always money. Money is needed in terms of human and financial resources. Probably when we analyze our staff, we realize that we need somebody new in the company, different ideas, different experience, and it costs money. Different resources in terms of machinery. Traveling is very nice, but expensive. So you must be determined also to put money, budget. And then important, define international plan. It means I want to sell. Okay, but where? It depends on your product. To give you an idea, sunflower seeds, the shelf life of sunflower seeds is really, really short. Normally you can buy sunflower seeds in a shop and they are moisture, Francis. Why? Because of the shelf life, it's the nature of the product. So I would never think about shipping sunflower seeds to Australia. So you have to consider the nature of your product, the lead time, transport, ingredients. You're focusing to a market like the neighborhood of Morocco, Algeria, of the Arabic countries. Forget the pork. Or any ingredient that might be confused with pork. There are a lot of things you have to consider. The coloring E615, probably it's forbidden in some countries. So you have to analyze your formula and check in the country of the destination if it's allowed or any of them it's forbidden. You'll save a lot of problems. Then once you have the countries selected, you say, that's my target. You have to do a marketing plan. A marketing plan means study your competitors, what's the offer, what's the price. Probably, if you are lucky, you go to countries where you don't have competitors. There's always some product that it's the competitor of yours. Tell you, in corn, many countries doesn't exist. Before, as a snack, didn't exist. But they have peanuts. So my competitor is peanut, because it's selling in the same category, same price level, same way of consumption, and same model. So you have to study carefully your competitors. And then make also a plan. Plan. Means kind of fair customers. How can the international missions, international Internet, it's a good help. I didn't understand you. Okay. Well, you have to make a plan. Where you're gonna go and how. International exhibitions, as I mentioned before, it's a good way. Internet, it's a good way to find contacts, to do a research. The embassy, economy embassy of every country can help you. But then, from my experience, whenever you have a good opportunity, there's a market, there's a country, there's a customer, somebody who is a potential importer for you, you have to go there, sit in front of him, see the way they behave, how do the distribution, how they handle this business. You can smell many things. I would say, would recommend, nobody have to tell you. You have to live it. That's, for that reason, I continue. I will continue for a long, long time managing certain countries. Mexico, it's a country of mine. Morocco. I go with my team to all fairs, or major fairs, and sometimes I go with them to visit an important customer. Our market is a very family market. Basically, all the companies are family companies. So you will find somebody from the property sitting in front of the table, and they're gonna sit in front of somebody from the family also. So it's a very connected relation. I have many friends. Hospitality is great. Wherever you go, you have to. Sometimes you have to go hidden over there because they are too much hospitality. They come home. Let's have dinner with me, with my family. I wanna go to the beach tomorrow, no, please. I've never been in the beach. Never been to the beach. Wherever I've been traveling abroad. Innovation. Permanent innovation. I do something really good today, but tomorrow probably there's something much better than mine. I have to research, to innovate, and it doesn't mean always spend a lot of money. Global thinking, ideas. I would say to all my staff, my team, my sons, my family, you have to go by the life with the eyes very open to see and not to watch. And you know what I mean? There's people who was with the life and I passed by here and I didn't realize there's a bottle here. There's a bottle here. There's some flags over there. You have to take advantage of every single trip, even on holidays. My tourism, whenever I go on holidays, it's a supermarket tourism. I didn't go to museums, to theater. Sometimes I have to complain my family, but I do for a while. Or they're in the beach, I go for a while to have a look. And national certifications, you need them. It's an important thing. It's something that really gives you a plus. They think you are very involved in your company, you do things properly, and you take care about all the process. From the purchase to the delivery, everything is under control. And a lot of patience, perseverance, and consistency. It isn't an easy way, I can't tell you. it isn't. So the advantages is a high growth potential, risk diversification, you increase the number of clients, all the resources of the company are optimized, internal improvements, you are learning not for foreign markets, you are learning and improving for your market. Learning is always a process, and better image of the company, suppliers, banks, and customers. I don't know if there's anybody from the bank here, but I can tell you that today they are looking for international companies who are dealing abroad, because they know that abroad, out from Spain, there are opportunities, there are business, and they want those companies. And also we have obstacles. Internal change management, the most important. Competition, I told you before, there's no corn in countries, but there's peanuts in all of them. Local competition, national competition means that competition you have here in your country may go there also with you. And also international. The national big companies are everywhere. Cultural language barriers, you have to face up that, and it's easy. Country-specific legislation in terms of tax, ingredients, customs, duties and tariffs. There are barriers, there are countries that they want to protect their own industry, so they have very high taxes, and that's something you have to control whenever you decide to go to a certain country. Currency protection, we mentioned before with the case of Venezuela, euro is very strong, and we are in the eurozone. We are selling in euro, and we are expensive. But probably your customer and destination, they have a different currency, and every time they have to go to the bank to buy euro, they need more of his local currency to buy euro. So there are different ways to reduce the risk by insurance, by adapting your purchase process, fixing to a certain price also in currency. We sell in dollars, USA dollars, and we have like a bag where we put all the dollars, and then when we buy raw material that we buy in dollars, we use those dollars. Instability, political, economic, social, we are in a changing world. And international transport, transit time, extra cost. And also investment. We need to invest. There's nothing easy, nothing for free. You can be lucky and find a good customer, a good market, where your product may work with almost no investment, but you need to invest. And international payment methods. There are some countries that they are not in the formal bank system in the world. So, for instance, Algeria, everything is paid by the letter of credit. They're not allowed to transfer money in advance. They can't transfer money, just letter of credit. So the question is it the solution? I think it is. I'm convinced. It's, my experience says that in our case it was, and it is. So come on, go ahead. You can. That's all. Okay, I have a couple of questions from our friends. They ask, which organization do we need to contact to sell abroad? Well, it's not an easy question because there's no one organization, there's no a book where you go, but there are many things. As I mentioned before, the embassies, they have an economic department where you can write, call, email, asking for information. Every country, in Spain, for instance, we have ICEX or Extenda or Chamber of Commerce. They also can help you to find the proper way. But finally, it's a list of company names. Sometimes you have the person on duty, the contact. It's a way. I would recommend to go to fairs. The sector of the economy have fairs. That's the way I did. Second question: do you have some practical info about the organization to contact for? Well, basically it's the same question. It's the same question, and I don't have. I'm sorry. That's not a name or place.
In English, no?
Come on.
Okay. Talking about websites, because here I think we are many new entrepreneurs that we will use the internet to start our business. No? And you said before that you did a mistake with your chuchesonline.com. I would like to ask you, what was that mistake? First question. How did you realize that it was a mistake? And what encouraged your team to solve it and go on with that?
Okay. First website we launched, we were frightened because since we are currently selling, we have plenty, 4,000 customers locally. Like we visit every week, we deliver every week. We were frightened that they could realize that we were selling through the internet and consider we were their competitors. So we decided not to leave it open. When you wrote the postal code starting by 18, you could see the range, the brochure, all the catalog, but you couldn't see the prices. Finally, we were focusing in the professional market. Then we decided to B2C, to consumer, when a consumer. So if we were focusing in professional, we need to invoice. And I mean, we invoice always. I mean, a formal invoice. There is something probably you know, I'll say it in Spanish, recargo de equivalencia. Some of you don't know. You need to charge to the invoice, and you need all the information of the customer to do the invoicing and the delivery. So we decided not to leave it open, the register and the website. So you register, send the information, and then somebody on the other side, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, because you are registering on Sunday, is giving you the code, the password to enter to the shopping. And that's completely inefficient. And then once you use the site and also the technology, it's improved, we realized that we need to change. And now we are getting the results. Depending on the product, a website, it's a very good tool to give you the knowledge of the market, give the opportunity to your customers to meet you, but there are millions of websites, millions. You have to invest a lot of money there. So depending on your activity, it's a good place, a good showroom, but then there's something that I think that will never finish with the technology, is the human relation. We need to smile us, we need to be in contact, we need to see your face, how you behave, how you breathe. And the technology, it's a good supporter to show who you are, but then personal relations are very important.
Juan Carlos, this morning we were talking about how important is for Granada as an opportunity the international commerce, as you are doing. But I want to ask you if to be here in Granada, it's a handicap for you, for your company, special difficult, or even maybe a competitive difference?
No, not. It isn't, of course, it isn't an obstacle to be here. I'm very proud to be from Granada, to go through the world offering Cerámica Granadina with my logo, and the market is the world. It's so it doesn't matter if you are here or there. Of course, you have to look for good communication. When I have to fly, I have to go to Malaga or to Madrid, but it's a price that I like to pay, because when every time I'm back, I'm so quiet in Granada and so happy to be back. I would say the most important, the best thing of traveling is returning. So it isn't an obstacle, of course. You can go everywhere from Granada. You can ship everywhere from Granada. You can do everything from here. It depends on the nature of your business. If you're, if the basic things of your company are located here or in different countries, but to the business. Nowadays, from everywhere, I work a lot, too much, because I start at 7 in the morning with my emails in my iPhone, and every night at 12 I turn off the iPhone, because at 12 in Granada it's 5 o'clock in Mexico, it's 7 in Brazil, the sun is rising in Asia, so at some moment you have to cut off. So Granada, it's a wonderful place to live in, it's a wonderful place to do business from the city. You don't have to move, and you have to be proud of the city we have. I would say the more I travel, the more I love my city. I've been in Brazil, the best places in the world, and all of them have something really nice and exciting. Well, there's nothing like Granada, our tapas, our malafollá. That's something. Sometimes you miss the malafollá, because when the Mexican were doing circles around, and come on, they would say we are very straight. No, you are straight. Spanish people, they speak. It's like if you were angry all the moment. No, excuse me. When you start saying, I was saying in Mexican. No, pues fíjate que ahorita así de repente nos sucedió que... No, para decir que llegan tarde porque el taxi llegó tarde. Come on. No, Granada, don't move from Granada. He moved, he's living in Sevilla. He missed Granada, and he's 2 hours driving from here. No, Granada, it's a good, very good base to the business everywhere. You have to think global. You're not from a small city in Granada. No, no. You are in the world and the world market.
Good afternoon, Mr. Barragán. Thank you very much for your conference here. Really appreciate your experience here with us, and you have the opportunity to share your experience. I have two questions. I think the first one has been already answered about if you have some help from public institutions, for instance, Sexta or EFEX, and you said that you don't have previously experience, isn't it? Or you have experience, not?
With who?
With Sexta or EFEX?
No, no.
No, but you recommend it, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Okay. The second question is about if you have any experience with sport groups, meeting other foreign industries competitor going abroad and to...
Consortio.
Consorcio de exportación, yes. I don't know how to say in English, consorcio de exportación. Thank you.
Me neither. I'm not a believer in the consortium. No. I'm sorry, but I have to tell my opinion. Just my opinion. I'm gonna tell my honestly what I think. Consortio is something at the beginning. You have a product different from mine. I have different product from you. I've got a different product. We all three are thinking selling in the States. Say, okay, why don't we open a branch, a company there, a small office. We hire a good guy to enter into the market, because our production might be complementary, but no competitors within us. Okay, then we pay the same 33% each. We put the money, 33% each, and then you sell wine, I sell peanuts, and you sell chorizo. And the market accepts very well wine, chorizo, comme ça, and pipas, nothing. So I will complain first. I say, hey, I'm paying, but you are getting the result. So probably for a certain period of time might be interesting, but you have to agree in advance when you are living and how you are living. That's my opinion. Yeah. Come on.
My name's Luciana, and I own a language consultancy. I'm from California, and I would like to ask you what language barriers has your company faced within your history? And my second question is, what importance does your company give in regards of training to languages, even with the crisis?
Well, we had to face up a lot of problems with the languages, not in terms of communication, because I try to speak English, but there are people in the company who speak English much better than me. And also we are dealing with the French speaking countries and Germany. But with English, you can go everywhere. It's important in terms of the labeling, in terms of ingredients list, but in terms of communication, we try to do. Yesterday we started an English course in the company with a native English teacher who comes to the company to give lessons to the person of quality department, production department, accountancy. So I'm convinced that the languages are more important than maths nowadays. I have two sons living in Granada in 1990, 1992. You almost couldn't find a good bilingual school, And I got nervous because my first son was born in 1992, and I wanted him to learn good English, not like me. So, thank you. So, luckily, they opened a good school, and then when they were 1 year old, they started to speak English. When they were 5, they could maintain a conversation, and then they learned French, and now they're learning German. So I suffer when people from Spain doesn't speak Spanish. I help a lot of people at the airport, especially in Terminal 4, which is huge. While you get there, there's a train, there's no driver, there's no bus stop. I'm always carrying with me a huge group of, especially old people. I see the policemen, they speak louder, but in Spanish. So I wonder how in Granada, of course it's a wonderful city, but we have to improve a lot. How in Granada, barmen, they know how to say sol, beer, tapa, but they can maintain a conversation. The police, only the hotels. If you go on the street and ask everybody, even the young people, the students, they speak English. I studied in school. Hello, how are you? There's a lack of. I think people should consider carefully that we are a tourist city, that we live from the tourism, and we have to communicate. All times when people said, "You're coming to Spain, learn Spanish," happened. Well, if there's no other question, I'll take it off and switch into my Spanish.
Okay. Muchas gracias, Juan Carlos. Bien,